Land yourself in a comfortable seated position to get started. And then just coming back, as always, to your breath. Just noticing where that breath is today and in this moment. If it feels comfortable, shutting your eyes or just looking down in front of you, not focusing on anything in particular. And landing here together, rooted in your seated position, rooted in your breath. Back together again for another week. In what's been weeks, now months, perhaps even. But knowing that every week we have this connection, this regrounding, this rooting to this class and this gathering and this opportunity for connection. As things shift, we have to shift. We were just talking about before, different ways of getting our groceries and interacting or not interacting with the world. I know for myself, I was supposed to be in Toronto today and in Toronto this weekend to present at a conference for educators about trauma-informed and mindful practices in the classroom. And it's sad that I don't get to be there. But I'm also grateful that I get to be here teaching and that we have technology, so the conference is still continuing and I get to present online, so still have the connection that way. And I think that's pretty common of how we can look at everything we're experiencing recently, to try to find both sides of it. While things are challenging and hard and sometimes scary, anxiety provoking, we can also find gratitude. And I try to look for that gratitude every day. And when it's hard, I always come back to the breath and ground myself and root myself in that. So let's breathe together as we start our practice. And again, keeping your eyes closed if that's comfortable, or just loosely gazing in front of you. And together, inviting a nice deep inhale, breathing in through the nose, filling the belly, filling the chest, sending air through your entire body, really filling up. And then opening your mouth, exhale. Nice audible exhale. Again, together, inhaling, filling belly, feeling your chest rise, opening your mouth and exhaling it all out. Again, inhaling, really deep belly breath. Pausing here. And then opening your mouth, exhaling. And one more time that way, inhaling, filling belly, filling chest, now pausing. Opening mouth, exhale. And last week I talked about a few tips that I use myself to manage the stress and anxiety of all that we're experiencing. And I thought I would focus a little bit on each one for a couple weeks. So today I want to focus on self and our self-inquiry. And this is going to be a focus that progresses over the next few weeks, but also these can be done absolutely individually as well. But today we're going to land on self. So for this week's practice, I invite you, again, and we've done this before, to set an intention for yourself for today's practice. So think of a word or a phrase that is something you want to invite more of into your present being and your present life. What is that? And just reflect as you breathe for a moment and try to land on what that intention is for today and for this moment. And if you pick something and it doesn't feel quite right as we move through the practice, then you can always shift it and pick something else. So don't feel committed to it or stuck with it, but just reflect on something for this moment and then perhaps carry it with you through the practice and maybe through your day. So landing on that intention, and together we inhale, holding that intention in our thought, filling your body with breath, saying to yourself silently, or you can say it out loud because we can't really hear each other. Inhaling and whispering or saying that word to yourself or the phrase, and then exhaling, letting it all go. One more time, focusing on that intention, inhaling, filling your body, filling your belly, your chest, inviting all that nourishing breath in, the energizing breath, and then letting it all go. And then we'll start to bring some movement to our breath as we do every week. And I invite you to continue to keep your eyes closed or loosely gazing downward, or you can open your eyes now or at any point that feels comfortable. But we're just going to start with some simple movement. So as we inhale our arms up, reaching nice and tall above our head, and then exhaling, hands to heart center. Again, inhaling and really focusing on filling your belly, filling your chest, inviting in, and then exhaling, hands to heart center. And 2 more times in this way, inhaling up, filling, inviting it all in, and then exhaling, release. And 1 more time, inhaling up, inviting in, scooping all that energy, pulling it into ourselves, and exhaling. And now this time, inhaling, arms up, reaching to the sky, and then we twist and turn to the right, and then land that left hand on your right knee, right hand behind you. So coming to a little bit of a twist here. And again, on the inhale, focusing on lengthening, so lifting up nice and tall, long spine, and on the exhale, you focus on the twist, so turning. And if it's comfortable, your eyes, your gaze can be over that back shoulder. Again, inhale, lengthening, nice tall spine. Exhale, twisting. And following that pattern with your breath. The inhale, focus on your spine, your tall, lengthening spine. And the exhale, you focus on your twist. And then on an inhale together, we invite arms back up to the sky. And then we twist to our left, landing that right hand on the left knee, left hand popped up behind you. And again, inhale, lengthening, nice and tall spine. Exhale, twisting. If it's comfortable, eyes going over the back shoulder. And then on an inhale, coming back, reaching to the sky, lifting up. Exhale, releasing hands through heart center. Landing on your knees or next to you. And then maybe just doing some shoulder rolls back, forward. Rotating wrists one way and the other. Oftentimes we forget about our wrists and our shoulders, particularly we're on the computer a lot or looking at screens and kind of get hunched over. It's really great to be able to move, bring some movement into these joints. And then as you're ready, coming up to our tabletop position. So coming over onto our hands and knees. Hands directly below shoulders, knees below hips. Landing here. And again, if you're on a chair, you can be in a nice tall seated position and put your hands right on your knees. So left hand on left knee, right hand on right knee, and you can do the same moves from that seated position. So landing here, and then with the breath, coordinated with the breath, on our inhale, we raise our chest coming forward, belly drops down. And then on the exhale, we go in the reverse direction. So dropping our hips, dropping our chest, and raising the back like an angry cat, our cat pose. And then on the inhale, opening up, chest forward, our cow pose. And then continuing in this way, following your own breath. And really feeling this in your vertebrae, in your back. Giving your back that nice stretch. And again, as we do each week, you can continue in this way if that feels good. Or you can invite in movement in whatever way your body kind of tells you might feel good or you want to try. And that could be going side to side, making like a C curve with your body, one side and then the next. It could be doing some figure eights with your hips or circles with your hips. Whatever you want to try or come back or stay just in this cat-cow. Just inviting in that movement. Allowing your spine to move, to stretch out. And then landing back on our nice and stable tabletop. Taking a breath here, the inhale and exhale. And then we invite our right hand, our right arm forward and our left leg back. And that leg, the left leg can either be landing on toes behind you or lifting up. So right arm, left leg. And then back to tabletop. And then right arm, left leg. Again, either landing on the toes or lifting up. Back to tabletop. Right arm, left leg. Back to table. Left arm, right leg. Back to table. And then this time, as we've done before, right arm, left leg, and then inviting them in to meet. So elbow to knee, kind of crunching both in if that feels comfortable today. Coming back to straighten, and then landing in table. And on the other side, left arm, right leg. If you choose, inviting them to meet in the middle, little crunch, straightening back up, and then landing on all fours. Back to our table. And from here, pushing back into our child's pose. So coming back, and your knees can be as close or as far apart as feels comfortable for you today. Coming back, your hips back towards your feet. Coming down towards the mat, landing your head on the mat if that's comfortable. If your head isn't quite there, you can put a pillow or a block or something right under your head. And as you land here, bringing focus back to your breath, the inhale and exhale. And bringing focus back to your intention you set. And if that intention still resonates, holding that, inviting it in with your inhale. If it doesn't feel like that intention landed today that you picked, now is a great time to pick something new. Again, this is your intention today. We're focusing on self and our self-inquiry. So the intention should be something you want to invite in for yourself. And doing so, it is not at all selfish. It's actually really important. Because we can only truly be good and of service to others when we take care of ourselves first. When we put that value in ourselves. Otherwise, we run out. Our cup goes empty. So we need to fill that up. So what is it that you want to invite in for yourself? And then as you're ready on the inhale, coming up, coming back to our table, and we'll do our shoulders. So as you land in your table, we invite our right arm up to the sky. And then on the exhale, we thread that arm through the left arm. We're gonna flow twice and then land on our third time. So we just flow through. On the exhale, on the inhale, coming back up to reach to the sky. On our exhale, flow through, thread that arm through. On the inhale, rising up to the sky. On the exhale, threading through and landing. So landing that shoulder to the mat, the head to the mat, if that is comfortable. And if you're in a chair, you can bring that arm, your right arm, across your body in front of you and give yourself a nice big hug. Give your arm a nice big hug if you're seated in the chair. We can hold a lot of stress in our shoulders. So it's good to stretch them out. But also know sometimes that when you stretch out parts of your body that hold stress or tend to hold stress, things can come up. So if you're in yoga and you're doing a pose and all of a sudden out of nowhere emotions come, know that that's not really out of nowhere, because we hold our stress and our emotions in our physical body. So if something feels like it pops up out of nowhere, that is absolutely normal and okay. And you are in a place where you can work with that in a controlled way by moving your body. Okay, on an inhale, inviting that arm back up to the sky and landing. And then, of course, our other side. So on our inhale, inviting that left arm up to the sky. On an exhale, threading it through. On an inhale, inviting it up. On an exhale, threading it through. Inhale, arm to the sky. Exhale, threading through and landing. Landing shoulder, landing your cheek to the mat. If you're seated in a chair, inviting that left arm across your body, giving it a big hug. Also noticing that maybe things feel different on one side than the other. And maybe, like me, your right arm went up much higher and with more ease than your left arm, or maybe the opposite. And know that that is totally normal too. It can also vary from day to day or even moment to moment. And we're not here to judge any of that. We can notice. We can be a researcher of our existence and our current state of being. So kind of checking in with that, noticing it, taking it in as information and data, but then not judging that, just letting it all kind of float away. And then on an inhale, inviting that arm back up to the sky and landing. And then perhaps if it feels good, pushing back one more time to our child's pose, landing the head, forehead down onto the mat or a pillow or a block, arms straight out in front of you or by your sides. Inviting your breath. And then as you're ready, making your way up from your child's pose and coming to a standing position at the top of your mat. So landing here together, forming a nice, strong foundation through our feet, through our legs, pulling our legs. Think about pulling your legs up into your hip joints, really engaging the muscles of your legs. Shoulders up and back. Nice and tall, strongly rooted. And we know what's coming, our strength series, our warrior series, where we invite in strength every week. So as we stand here in our strongly rooted mountain pose, reflect for a moment about your strengths. What are my strengths? What strengths do I bring to this very moment? And you all have magnificent strengths. We all do. So reflect on that and carry that with you and carry your intention with you through our warrior series. And again, remembering that challenging yourself, even pushing that edge a little bit, can be a really great thing. And that is how we move forward and we invite in change. But also knowing that you're absolutely okay where you are in this very moment. But in pushing that edge, not to pain, you never want to get to suffering or pain, but challenging yourself is what continues our path forward. So don't be afraid to do that, particularly in our strength poses here. So as we begin, again, standing strongly rooted, from here, we step back with our right foot. So you can be at the front of your mat, step back with your right foot, and invite that bend into your front left leg. Your back foot is at a bit of an angle. Your front foot is straight forward. And you want them to be not directly in line, but a little spaced apart so you have some balance. But find the angle of your feet and the position of your legs that feels good for you and makes you feel stable, because it's going to be a little bit different for each person's body. And then we have that bend in the front leg, nice, straight, strong back leg. And to begin, we come into our warrior one. So both of our hips are facing forward, and then we invite arms up. Look at our strength, so beautiful. Warrior one. And throughout this warrior series, remember, if it feels like too much, you can always straighten and then come back in. And from here, we open up. So we come to our warrior two. Our front arm goes forward, back arm goes back, both coming straight out of your shoulder. Front leg stays bent, back leg still nice and strong. Take a peek back over that back arm. Make sure it's where you think it is. Coming out nice and straight, not way down here, not way up here. Check and see where it's hanging out. And then bring your gaze, your eyes over that front middle finger. So front leg bent, looking over the front middle finger. Your hips now are no longer straight forward, they're coming out to the side. Warrior two. And then inviting some movement, inhaling, straightening that front leg, arms reaching nice and tall, and coming back in. Inhaling, straightening the leg, reaching nice and tall. Exhale, warrior two. One more time, inhaling, nice and tall. Exhale, warrior two. This time, flipping that front hand, dropping your back arm, reaching up, coming into our reverse warrior. Always rooting in the breath, so coming back, don't stop breathing, coming back to that inhale and exhale. And then coming back, warrior two. And now coming to our side angle. So bringing that forearm to your up thigh and inviting your top arm up, coming in a nice line straight from your leg through your body up past your ear. You can look either down or up at your arm. And remember, if this is hard, if things feel a little wiggly, that is okay. You're doing it absolutely right. And then coming back up, warrior two. Nice inhale, exhale, and then stepping your feet together, coming back to the top of your mat, landing in your strong mountain pose, rooting to the ground, finding your inhale the exhale. And then just having gratitude for yourself, for the strength that you just showed. And knowing that now we will invite that onto the other side. So again, coming back to the front of your mat, and then stepping back with the opposite foot. So again, coming from that strong mountain pose, you're going to step back this time with your other foot, your left foot. Coming first to warrior one, but setting yourself up with the back leg angled, front foot facing forward, bending in that front leg. So just playing around with it a little till you find what feels stable and feels good. Remember, your feet are not on a single line, but spread a little bit apart so that you can find balance. Front foot forward, back foot is a bit of an angle, and then finding that bend in the front leg, both hips facing forward, inviting our arms up. Warrior one. Inhale and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. And then opening up. So inviting that back arm back, front arm forward, nice and strong. Looking like a warrior, front leg bent. Check that back arm, make sure it's coming out from your shoulder. Everyone looks great, nice straight arms, strong arms. Front leg bent. Looking over the front middle finger. And then together we inhale, straighten that front leg, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Inhaling up, leg straightens. Warrior two. And make sure you're doing nice, big, strong inhales and exhales. In through the nose, out through the nose if that's comfortable. And again, inhaling, legs straighten, arms up. Nice deep inhale, fill your belly, chest rises. And then exhale. Warrior two. Now we flip the front hand and come into a reverse warrior. So back arm drops, reversing backwards, reverse warrior. Front leg is still bent. And then coming back, warrior two. Inhale, exhale. Now bringing that forearm to your thigh, doing our side angle, inviting that top arm up to be in a nice long line with your body. Again, if it's hard, that's absolutely normal. Use your breath to help you. Inhale and the exhale. And then back up to warrior two. Inhale, exhale. And then stepping back to the front of your mat. Wiggling it out a little bit, and then grounding. The inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. Wonderful. And now before we move on, let's just do a little bit of our flow. for sun salutation. So rooting strongly through our legs. We invite with our inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting halfway, so nice flat back. Your hands can land on your shins, on your thighs, or they can stay on the mat, but nice flat back. And then on the exhale, folding forward. Inhale, arms rise up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And just noticing how you feel. Perhaps reflecting back again on that intention. And then as we flow again with our inhales and exhales, maybe carrying that intention with you through the flow. Inhaling, arms up, nice and tall. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rising up, reaching high. Exhale, hand to heart center. And we'll do that again together one more time. Perhaps bringing your intention with you again. Inhaling, arms up. Really breathing that in. Exhale, folding forward, letting that go. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Wonderful. Before our balance, let's just do a little twist here. So inhaling, arms up. Exhale, we'll bring our left hand forward and our right arm back. So just twisting to the side. Inhaling back up to center. Then left hand back, right hand forward. Inhaling up. Let's do that again. So left hand forward, right arm back. Your body is twisting to the side. Inhaling up. Another way. Left hand back, right hand forward. Inhaling up. Reach, reach, reach. One more time each way. Left, forward, right back. Inhaling up. Other side. Inhaling up. Hands to heart center. And then for today's balance, I know we normally do tree and we'll come back to that, but we're gonna do just a little bit different today to throw us off, which can be very challenging for balance. So we're going to, if it feels comfortable, again, rooted in a nice strong foundation, legs strong, lifting your leg muscles up into your hips, nice tall back. Think of lengthening your back, shoulders up and back, head nice and tall, lifting up to the ceiling, and then grounding through that left foot, nice and strongly grounded, and then inviting your lightness to your right leg as we normally do. And again, if it feels comfortable today, you can always come to the tree kickstand. But if you want to challenge yourself or do something a little different this week, I invite you to try to invite that foot up in front of you. And again, you may wobble, you may come out, and come right back in. Just keep trying. And like our trees, we're never perfectly still, because guess what? There's no such thing as finding balance. It's always just a journey. And then if you want, try to bring that leg out to the side a little bit. You can hold your knee, or you can just have your leg lifting itself either way. And then back to center and land. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale. Always rooting back to our breath. And then, of course, our other side. So coming to your kickstand or in nice strong rooted right leg, inviting that left leg up in front of you. It may come up and down, but let's give it a try. And if you choose, you can try to invite it out to the side. Invite it back to center. And then land. Inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. Now we're going to come down to our mat. So you can just head straight down there, or maybe you want to do a nice stretch up, forward fold, and then just kind of come to your mat. Starting with our legs out in front of us, we're going to do our forward stretch, forward fold. So you have a few options here. You can just come forward. You can just, well, the first option is just to stay here nice and tall, nice and straight, and breathe. And that's absolutely doing the pose. You can also just come forward. You can use something to wrap around soles of your feet to help guide you forward, or you can really stack things up and make a little support for you to come forward. Wherever you want to land today, start nice and tall, nice and straight, legs out in front of you. And again, the point here is not to get all the way flat smushed to our legs. The point is to lead with the chest and have a nice straight back. So you may not actually go very far forward at all, but really starting with that nice tall back and then coming forward, leading with your chest. You can hold on to that belt or strap coming forward. You can hold on to your legs or your feet. And if it feels comfortable, closing your eyes and letting yourself release into the stretch. Always coming back, the inhale and the exhale. The inhale and the exhale. And then as you're ready, slowly on an inhale, releasing up, coming up, rolling up one vertebra at a time, head last to come up, and then coming back to your tall, straight back. Maybe give your legs a little wiggle out. And then from here, swinging your legs around and grabbing your props. So your pillows, your bolsters, your wrapped up blankets, whatever you have. We're gonna do our assisted child's pose. So you can make it as assisted as you want. Maybe you really super prop things up with blocks, stack it up. Just try different things. And again, we're not at our studio, so we have to make do with whatever's around, but you can easily make bolsters with pillows and blankets and find something to work. So what you're doing here, however high you want to make your prop, you are coming to, again, one of our child's poses. So your knees can be as close or as far out as you want, but inviting that prop in toward you. And then you're going to come forward and lie on your bolster. So your stack of blankets rolled up or your pillows. And maybe it's really stacked up today and you're kind of more of at an angle than lying down. But something that feels nice and stable. One cheek, turn one cheek to the side and have that on your bolster. And landing your hands wherever they're comfortable. If it feels comfortable, closing your eyes. Or just not focusing on anything in particular. And letting yourself release. Not focusing on anything in particular. Just inviting back your breath again and again. Inviting the focus to that breath. The inhale and the exhale. And if you ever feel stress coming on throughout your day, you can always just find your props, your pillows, and just take this pose for a few moments. I know I do this in my office sometimes. It can just help you reset. It can help you calm or refocus. And then if you have it, flipping your other cheek to land on the bolster, head facing in the opposite direction. The inhale, the exhale. Then as you're ready, no rush at all. Coming back up. Perhaps moving your props aside. And then bringing your feet back in front of you. And we're going to come to lying down on the mat. So however you get there, coming to a position, lying on your back, on your mat, feeling grounded here. And then inviting both knees in for a nice hug. And then rolling, if it feels good, side to side, or maybe making some circles with those knees. One direction and the other. And then landing both feet on the mat, knees towards the ceiling. Inviting that right ankle up and over onto the left thigh. And you can stay right here. This can be your position for today. Or you can thread your hands through and kind of around that left thigh and inviting your legs towards your chest. Both feet flexed. And again, the inhale and the exhale. Then as you're ready, releasing your legs and coming to the other side. So bringing that left ankle over right thigh, landing the right foot on the ground, or inviting arms around thigh, pulling both feet, both legs towards you and flexing both feet. And returning to the breath, the inhale and the exhale. And then as you're ready, releasing both legs and hugging them both into your chest, maybe rocking a bit, side to side, or circles. And then bringing both of our arms out to our sides to a T and dropping both of your knees over to the right side. Then you may want to scoot your hips back a little bit towards the left and just dropping the knees down. Arms are out to the side in a T shape. And then if it feels comfortable, bringing your eyes over your left shoulder. So your gaze, your eyes going in the opposite direction of your knees. And we just land here. In our breath, the inhale and the exhale. Perhaps inviting your intention in with that inhale. Having your intention fill your body. And then exhale, release, sending it out to the world. And then on an inhale, inviting your knees back up through center and then dropping them over to the left side. Maybe stopping to scoot your hips over a bit to the right, knees dropping to the left. And then if it feels good, eyes coming out over towards the right, looking in the opposite direction of your knees. And again, landing in your breath. Inviting in that intention, filling you with your inhale, and then sending it out to the world on the exhale. And then, as you're ready, no rush at all, inhaling, knees back up to center, straightening out. If your hips are a bit to the side, hugging those knees in, giving yourself a nice big hug, maybe a little rock. And then before our final rest, just do an inversion. So again, you're always welcome to do this up against the wall, your feet up the wall, if you happen to be near a wall. Otherwise, just inviting both feet up. You can bring a pillow or a block if you have a block and put that under your hips. So if you have
block or pillow you want to use, feet on the ground, lifting the hips, landing that prop under your hips, and then inviting legs up. Again, this is a really great pose for reducing stress and something you can do quickly throughout your day if you need a little reset. Inversions like this can help to activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our tool for inviting calm and connection, for resetting ourselves, finding balance, homeostasis, but generally just for calming us down and reducing stress. So maybe a great thing to do at the end of your day. Inviting our blood to flow in a different direction too than normal. It's not often throughout our day that we are upside down. So this can be a great thing to try. And again, we are the researchers, so just noticing. Does it help invite calmness, reduce stress? And then as you're ready, no rush, landing down. So inviting the feet down if you have a prop, landing your feet first and then pushing up hips to get that prop out of the way. And then just coming to your final relaxation position. Taking any last stretches you need. Maybe you want a full body stretch, arms out overhead, feet stretched out. Find that nice stretch and then release. So feet flopping out, palms facing up. Maybe putting on a blanket or a sweatshirt if you want. And again, your final relaxation is yours. This is your opportunity to integrate all that you have done for yourself today. So it can be lying down on your back with your feet and your feet flopped out and your hands out to the side, palms up. But you could choose to rest on your belly or come up to a comfortable seated position. Whatever feels good for you today. And always give yourself this space for this final pose of relaxation and integration because you've earned it and you deserve it. And with your inhale and your exhale, inviting in again that intention. And perhaps reflecting on ways you can invite this intention to stay with you through the rest of your day. How can you carry it with you through your day? Can you check in with yourself tonight to see how the intention followed you through the day? Were you able to invite it in and focus on it? Or perhaps not. Maybe the intention felt very challenging. And there's no right or wrong. Again, we do not come to this with judgment, just curiosity and acceptance. But letting that intention fill your whole being. Inviting it in, inhale and exhale.
And as you're ready, bringing some movement, some wiggles to your feet, to your hands. And slowly finding your way to your seated position. Maybe rolling to the side first and then coming up. But landing in a comfortable seat. Together, we land here. And we close our practice as it began, rooting ourselves in our breath. If you like, you can invite both hands to heart center. Together, we will close with 2 deep breaths. So inhale, filling belly, filling chest. Pausing. And exhale. Again, one more time. Inhale, filling, filling. One final last sip. Holding. And then exhaling. Thank you all for joining me today. Thank you for being here, for your presence, for your beauty. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.